Good morning, dear students. In today's session, we are going to discuss about equipotential surface and the relation between field and potential. So, in our previous session, we learnt about the potential. The potential can be defined by the electric field. That is, whenever there is an electric field and a point in a field, we can define electrostatic potential as the work done in bringing the unit positive charge from infinity to a point against the electric field uniformly. So now let us understand what is equipotential surface. What is equipotential surface? So let us consider a point charge, say plus q. Okay, let us consider a point charge, say plus q, and let us assume a point x. Okay, let us assume a point x, which is at a distance of r, from plus q. At this point, that is at x, the potential will be Vx is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r. We all know that. So now if I consider one more point, I'll draw this diagram over here. Okay, I'll draw the same diagram over here. I have considered plus charge. Okay, this is a charge. And I have considered one point x, which is at a distance r. So now I'll consider one more point y. Okay, one more point y, which is also at a distance of r from q. And say I'll consider one more point. Okay, one more point I'll consider, that is z, which is also at a distance of r from plus q. Okay, the potential will be same for y, for z, and for x. Why? Because they are produced, we are considering the same charge and the distance is also the same. So the potential at y will be Vy is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r. It will be same for Vy and it will be same for Vz. Okay. By this, what I can say is, if I consider n number of points, okay, if I consider n number of points like this, if I consider n number of points and the potential, if I try to find out the potential at these points, I will find the potential to be same. Okay, I will find the potential to be same. That is, the potential at all the points here, all the infinite number of points will be same. And now if I join, okay, and now if I join, so I'll draw it here again. This is plus q, okay. This is the potential at some point. Okay, we have considered some points over here, x, y, z, a, b, c, anything you can call. So which are at the distance of r from the q. And now if I join these points with each other, okay, if I join these points with each other like this, if I join this point with each other, what I will get? I will get a circle around the charge. See, if I join these points, I will get a circle around the charge. And that means the potential on this circle at every point will be same. On this circle, every point, if I consider the small points, very minute points on this circle, the potential will be same. Okay, the potential it will be same. And if I assume one more point A, okay, so now I'll assume one more point A, which is at a distance, I'll consider the point A over here, which is at a distance r1. I will say it is at a distance r1 from plus q. And similarly, if I consider n number of points like this, n number of points which are at a distance of r1 from this same charge plus q, I'll get one more circle. And if I join them, I'll get one more circle. So I cannot draw a proper circle with this digital pen, so please pardon me. I will get one more circle. Okay, and the potential will be same for all the points even with this circle. Let us say V1 is the potential or the total potential of circle 1. Let this be potential for circle 1 and V2 be the potential for circle 2. Now let us assume the circle to be a sphere. Okay, now let us assume the circle to be a sphere. then I can say that every point on the sphere, that is, every point on the surface of the sphere will have the same potential. See, instead of considering this as a 2D circle, I will consider it as a 3D sphere. Okay, consider a ball, or imagine something. Okay, consider a ball. Uh, if I consider a potential on the surface of the ball, the surface will have the same potential on any point on the sphere. Such a surface is called as the equipotential surface. A surface on which a potential on every point remains the same is called as the equipotential surface. So what is a equipotential surface? A surface on which a potential on every point remains the same is called as the equipotential surface. The shape of the equipotential surface for a point charge is a sphere. Okay, it is always a sphere. So please remember, a surface on which the potential at every point, okay, the potential at every point is same or remains the same is called as the equipotential surface. If I consider the concentric sphere, so let me erase it, or else I'll draw it over here. If I consider this as a plus q charge, and if I consider concentric circles like this, okay, it's concentric circles like this, n number of concentric circles, 1 2 3 4, n number of concentric circles like this. And if I consider the potential of a circle as v1, second as v2, third as v3, and for fourth as v4, okay, then I can say that v1 v1 is not equal to v2, v2 not equal to v3, and so on. Understood? The points on the first circle, the potential of the points on the first circle is same. The potential of the points on the second circle, all the points is same, but as this potential is not equal to this potential, and this potential is not equal to this potential. Why? Because the distance is different. Okay, now let us consider, okay, so let me clear it, there is no space to draw. Okay, so now let us consider a positive point charge plus q. Okay, let us consider a positive charge plus q. We know that the direction of the electric field produced by the positive charge will be radially outwards, right? It will be radially outwards. The electric field for a positive charge will be radially outward. Okay, if I join these points with each other, then I will get a equipotential surface. We understood that. Okay, if I join these points, okay, if I join these points, I will get a equipotential surface. Right, what is equipotential surface? A surface on which the potential of every point remains the same. Okay, that is equipotential surface. So when I join these points, I'll get a equipotential surface. And the normal drawn through this circle, okay, if I take a normal of this circle, it will be in the direction of the electric field. Okay, it will be in the direction of the electric field. If you observe the circle, okay, if you observe this circle, it is perpendicular to electric field. See, the normal is in the direction of electric field, but these circle, okay, these circles, if I take one more circle, okay, if I take one more circle, these circles are in the perpendicular direction of the electric field. See, if you observe it properly, you can understand. See, that normal is in this direction, okay, normal is in this direction, whereas see here, the circle is in the perpendicular direction to the electric field. See, this is the electric field and I'm drawing a circle like this. So can you make out this line? This is a perpendicular. One more electric field, again I'll draw a circle, this is a perpendicular. One more electric field, again I'll draw a circle, this is perpendicular to this electric field. So on, the circle makes a perpendicular angle, it makes perpendicular to the electric field. We'll consider it, for better understanding, we'll consider it as a uniform electric field. Okay, so instead of taking this diagram, for our better understanding, I will consider a uniform electric field. So this explanation is all about the equipotential surface. Okay, so you may get this explanation for 3 marks and the diagram for 2 marks. Okay, so for better understanding, instead of taking this circle, let us take the uniform electric field. What are uniform electric fields? The electric fields in a space are in the same direction in the uniform manner. Okay, so we are taking the uniform electric field. Now let us consider planes. Okay, instead of circle, we'll consider a plane. I will draw the plane. Let me extend these lines. Okay, so now let us consider a plane. Wait, I will draw it neatly. So this is the electric field. So let us consider the uniform electric field. Okay, so these are uniform electric field. Now let us consider the plane which are perpendicular to this electric field. So what will be the plane? The plane sheet. Okay, so we are considering a plane sheet which are perpendicular to this electric field. So let us consider some three planes. Okay, so that I can explain properly. Okay, let us consider three planes. Okay, so I cannot draw it properly anyhow. Okay, so let us consider three plane and let me name them as A, B and C. Okay, let me name them as A, B and C. The potential at plane A, the potential, and let me consider these points on the electric field. Okay, so the potential at plane A, the potential at plane B and the potential at plane C are not equal to each other. This is not equal to, they are not equal to each other. Okay, these planes are not equal to each other. Okay, why they are not equal? But these points are the points in this plane. Okay, if I consider point A, these points on the plane A, these three, all these points are equal. Okay, they have the equal potential, whereas the plane A, plane B and plane C are not equal to each other. Okay, then we can say that the planes are the equipotential surfaces. Okay, these planes are the equipotential surfaces. So you will get one question, that is draw the diagram for a equipotential surface for a dipole and two charges. Okay, you will get a question. You should draw a equipotential surface for a dipole and one more for the same two charges, that is minus minus or plus plus, that is like charges. So let us draw the equipotential surface diagram for a dipole. Let us draw it for a dipole. So what will be the diagram for dipole? So this is plus, this is minus, this is minus. Okay, this is plus and this is minus. This diagram is important. What is a dipole? Two equal and opposite charges separated by a certain distance. So this is one consecutive ring. Just try to draw it in a notes. I will draw it properly, because with this digital pen the diagram I cannot draw it properly. Okay, see, this is little like a oval. It is not circle. This is little like a oval. Okay, and similarly for negative charge, it goes like this. Okay, you will get this question to draw a equipotential surface diagram for a dipole. This is for a dipole. Okay, and one more for the two charges, that is two charges. We'll consider two plus charges. Okay, what will be the diagram for the two plus charges or the like charges? They will be in contact with each other. Okay, they will be in contact with each other. So did you understand the difference? For dipole, they are not in contact with each other, but they are slightly oval in shape and they are dense over here. Okay, they are dense over here. this portion. Whereas when you consider two same charges or the like charges, they are in contact with each other. So this is all about equipotential surface. You won't get much marks in equipotential surface. You may get the definition and just the explanation, okay, and or you may get the diagrams. So this is all about the equipotential surface. So now let us go to depending upon the understanding of equipotential surface, let us move to the new another concept, that is relation between field and potential. See, this is the field, okay, this is the field, and these are the potential. So we have to understand the relation between the field and the potential. Okay, so let us understand the relation between field and the potential. Please make notes while I'm explaining, okay, just make some points at least, so that while you are studying with your own notes you will understand it better. So please start making your own notes. Now we'll go to the relation between field and potential. Field and potential. For that, same thing, let us consider the uniform electric field. Okay, let us consider uniform electric field. And let us consider two planes. Let us consider two planes. Okay, let us consider two planes. Those are the equipotential surfaces. So let us say them as the equipotential surfaces. Let A be on the equipotential. Let A be one of the equipotential surface and let B be the other. Okay. Let the distance between these two planes be delta L. I'll consider the distance between these two planes as delta L. Okay, let us consider a point P. Okay, let us consider a point P on plane A and point R on point B. I mean plane B. Okay, so let me concentrate on these planes and points. I'm getting confused with the points and planes. Okay, so let us consider a point P on plane A and point R on plane B. Okay, so now let us consider one more thing, that is a unit charge plus Q on a plane B at point R. So what happened? Now I am considering a positive charge at point R on a plane B. Okay, what did we do? We considered a uniform electric field and we took two equipotential surfaces, that is A and B, which are at a distance of delta L from each other. Okay, and one more thing, the next thing we did is we considered 2 points, one in the plane A and the other in the plane B. In plane A we named it as P and in plane B we named it as R. And then let us assume there is a positive charge on point R in a plane B. Now we have to move this charge from R to P. Okay, we have to move this charge from point P to point R. For that we have to do some work, right? We have to do some work. What work is that? What work is that? See, whenever we move this point from this point to this point, we are moving it against the direction of the electric field, right? The work done here is in the work done we are doing here is to move the charge against the direction of the electric field, right? So let the potential of plane A be V. So what I'll do now, I'll assume the potential at plane A be V and the potential of plane B be V plus delta V. Understood? We have to do some work. What work is that? We have to move this charge Q from point R to point P against the direction, that is in the opposite direction of the electric field. Okay, so now let us consider the potential of A as V and for potential for B as V plus delta V. So now work done in moving the unit positive charge from point R to point P will be given as W. W is nothing but the work done. Work done is F into delta L. Okay, F into delta L. We know that F is equal to Q into E. F is equal to Q into E. If I consider this Q as 1 coulomb, then F will be equal to E. Okay, understand this point. Okay, F is equal to Q into E. If I consider this charge as 1 coulomb, if I say 1 coulomb, so 1 into E is E. Therefore, F is equal to E. So instead of F, I will take E over here. Okay, E into delta L. E into delta L. So suppose if I write it in a vector form, vector E into delta L. So let us consider this as equation 1. Okay. Potential difference between R and P. Potential difference between R and P will be given by delta V is equal to Vp minus Vr. Okay, Vp minus Vr. That is the final position minus the initial position. So what it will be now? V minus V plus delta V. Why? Because the potential of P is V, we have taken here, and the potential of R is P plus delta V. Okay, so what happens? V and V get cancelled, minus minus, we will get minus delta V. Okay, delta V is equal to minus delta V. Both the representation, even this is also delta and even this is also delta. We call them delta, but the representation will be different. So please don't get confused. Now, work done. Work done will be delta V. Work done will be delta V. Therefore, work done is equal to, see here, from equation V of equation 1, what do we have? Vector E delta L. Okay, vector E delta L, or else I can write it as minus delta V. Why? W is equal to delta V. Delta V is nothing but minus delta V. So in simple, I just took W is equal to minus delta V. Why did I take it? See, we are saying V is equal to delta V. W is equal to delta V. Delta V is nothing but minus delta V. So I consider W is equal to minus delta V. Okay. Therefore, the final expression will be, instead of W, sorry, I made a mistake. Instead of W, we will consider vector E delta L is equal to minus delta V. So now I want vector E. So what will I get? Minus delta V by delta L. Okay, minus delta V by delta L. This is the relation between the field and the potential. So this is a simple mathematical equation. They're just interchanging and all. You will get it for 2 marks. Either 2 marks, or with the conditions you may get it for 3 marks. So what did we do? We considered this arrangement. You know the arrangement, I have explained it. And then we saw the work done is given by F is equal to delta L. With this equation, we replaced F by E, that is E into delta L. Therefore, work done is equal to, in vector form, vector E delta L. So the potential difference between R and P is given by delta V. V is equal to Vp minus Vr. Vp is given by V, and Vr is given by V plus delta V. Plus V and minus V get cancelled. So the remaining will be minus delta V. So here work done is equal to delta V. So we considered work done is this and delta V is this. Understood. So for better understanding, let us put it as equation 2. From equation 1 and equation 2, what we got, vector E delta L is equal to minus delta V. We got it over here. Therefore, vector V is equal to minus delta V by delta L. Or you can either write it as, just in simple, it's just a simple expression. Vector E is equal to delta V by delta L. Either you can end it over here, or you can go to the next step, that is vector E is equal to delta V by delta L. Okay. So this is the relation between field and potential. There are two important conclusions regarding the relation between the electric field and the potential. That is, electric field in the direction in which the potential decreases. Electric field is in the direction in which the potential decreases. The first conclusion is electric field is in the direction in which the potential decreases. The next point is the magnitude is given by the change in the magnitude of the potential per unit displacement normal to the equipotential surface at the point. I will give this conclusion in notes. Just by understanding, I explained it. I will give the conclusion in the notes. So this is all about the relation between the electric field and the potential. So make the notes. I will give you the notes, but still you people make the notes. So we'll meet up in the next session. Okay, that is tomorrow. So we'll wind up the class. Thank you.